whenever I have to learn something, I don't hesitate, okay? But I also don't start in the deep end. I don't do the worst case. I kind of work my way up to it. That's exactly what we're gonna do here. This piece of wood here, right? Well, this piece of wood here, and I think this is gonna be probably from here to here. This section right here, I'm gonna start there first. Now, I don't know how to deal with rotted wood. I don't. So I went on the internet and I looked around and I found there's some products. This is not an endorsement. Paid for this stuff myself. I've never used it before. I don't know a thing about it. This is a wood hardener. It's made by well, it's called PC-Petrifier. I don't know who it's made by. Anyway, I'm gonna use this. Well, first thing I'm gonna do, I've got a brush, I'm gonna brush it down. I'm gonna hit it with some compressed air. I'm not gonna take any power tools to this stuff. I think if I did that, I'd just blow it right out. So then I'm gonna put this stuff on. You have to let it set overnight. Now, this stuff also comes with something else, and it's a wood epoxy. It's a 2-part wood epoxy, and it's made by PC Woody. I never heard of this company before. I'm gonna give it a try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna clean this up, I'm gonna hit it with the petrifier, and then I'm gonna let it set overnight. Then I'm gonna come back and put this stuff on it. We'll take a look at the results. Now, because I have the attention span of a gnat, that's not all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna start vacuuming this stuff up and getting it cleaned up. And I want to see how this works. If this works okay here, I'll use it in some other spots. This is not how I'm going to be fixing the bad stuff. This is the stuff that it's got some rot. It's not the greatest. I'll harden it. If it's got some parts out of it missing, I'll hit it with the 2-part epoxy and then go from there. I mean, some of the stuff, it's just got to be replaced, but that's not where I'm going to start. So let me get to work. Okay, well, that was pretty simple. It paints on like water. Now, it takes 2 to 3 coats. You have to let it set overnight. So it's gonna take 2 or 3 days to do that. When that's done, I'll come back, I'll do a quick update on how it looks. Then we'll use the 2-part epoxy. We'll put that on. When it sets up, I'll come back and I'll do a recap on this. So I'll see you in a couple days. It's been a couple of days and a couple of coats with this, the wood hardener stuff that I showed you earlier. Now, my impression of that stuff, hey, it worked. It did what it said it would. Having worked with wood before and used Type Bond 3, the exterior stuff, if you take it, you dilute it with water, mix it up like a 50-50 mix, it'll do the same thing. So if you've got Type Bond 3 sitting around, just use it. I'm getting ready now to put the wood putty in. I've already mixed it up. I'll put all the descriptions and everything for what this stuff is down below. Getting ready to smear it in now. Now, what I did is I put that wood hardener on there, but there are a couple of spots that were kind of open, kind of lifting. So what I did is I took some Type Bond, I squirted Type Bond in there, and I hit it with a stapler. What I want to do now is use this wood putty stuff and fill in this void right here. I've got one more step I'm going to do after that, and that involves using flashing and construction adhesive. I just want to put a little more extra strength in there without getting, putting in some Simpson, some of those brackets and stuff in there. So let me do this first. After this sets up, we'll put the flashing on. I thought about just using the construction adhesive for all of this, but I think there's a fundamental difference between this stuff and construction adhesive. So I decided to go ahead and stick with this and not just use construction adhesive in here. And what I mean by construction adhesive, I'm talking like a liquid nails or a comparable product to that. I'm going to use liquid nails just because I got some and I feel comfortable using it. Just want to pack this stuff down in there real good and fill up those voids. There's some screw holes here, and I'm intentionally putting a little bit down into those screw holes. That way when, because it's for the molding, and they're going to want to hit those same spots again. And this way they'll have something a little bit better to bite into than the old rotten wood that's there. I may have to mix up some more. May have gone a little light on this batch. There's a staple right there I want to get out. And this doesn't have to be pretty. I'm going to do the same thing here, this junction right here, with that flashing and the construction adhesive. Some of these staples are standing proud, but to be honest, I didn't want to pound them in. I wasn't sure that wouldn't do any more more damage than good. I gotta get that staple out of there. Other than that, I think we're good to go on this. I'll bring you back after this is all, after that's all hardened up. I'll bring it back. I'm not going to sand it down or staple it or sand it or file it or anything. Just want to get it packed down in there. Using my Mark I packer right here. And there you go. I'll bring you back when this is hard and I go on to the next step. This repair's had a few days to set up. And I don't think it's good enough. I want to take it to the next level. So just to review what we did, we put the wood hardener on here, okay? It was a product that I've listed down below. I think if I was going to do it again, I would use Type Bond 3 and water mixed together. I've used that on other applications where I want like masonite siding that's bubbling and coming off. I go in, and I don't remember if it was Type Bond 3 or Type Bond 2. Anyway, I mixed them together, I put it on, I painted it, and it worked out great. I think I would just use it. Why I use Type Bond here already in this, by not having to buy this new product. Just one less thing I got around the shop. This wood putty filler 2-part epoxy, I think for like furniture and stuff like that, I think that might be okay, or on the siding of your house, or so I think that might be okay. But in this application where you need a little flexibility, I don't know if it's the right product. So what I'm going to do, just to make this a little bit stronger, because it might be the right product and I might be completely off base. I'm going to make this a little bit stronger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some construction adhesive and a piece of flashing. Now, if you don't know what flashing is, you buy it by the roll. It comes in 4-inch or 6-inch, and you use it for gutters and stuff like that. Well, you can also cut it up and use it for stuff like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, in the aircraft industry, we call it a scab patch. I'm going to squirt a bunch of construction glue, spread it around, and then put this over and staple this in place. And what it'll do, it'll help stiffen up all the joints in here that have been weakened and that I think will get weak again as this thing rolls down the road. This will just add a little extra strength to it. So enough talking, let me squirt this stuff on here and staple it up, and we'll get this video done. And this is just, I don't even know what brand it is, but it doesn't matter. And it'll fill the voids too. And I don't want too big a clumps, but I want enough on there so if it squishes out, I'm okay with that. I don't want, like right here, this is where that stuff I used shrunk down a little bit. Yeah. So we'll fill that in a little bit, and we'll come out here. How far does this come out? This comes out to, I'm leaking here. Yeah, right about there. So we'll just, and you know, it's cold in my shop. It's about, what does it say up there on the wall? I don't know, about 40 degrees in here right now. So I actually keep all this stuff in the house. My wife has generously given me a spot in the pantry where I can keep these chemicals and stuff, and that way they keep warm. Otherwise, you know, you come out here, you just can't use it. Trying not to get it all over my hands. Gonna go see the grandkids today, and I don't want to be dirty grandpa with glue and stuff all over his hands. So I'm just squishing it in, rubbing it around, and then I'll just start in the middle here. And there you go. That's it. Is it perfect? No. Do I think it's better than not doing anything? Yes. Do I think it's better than the 2-part epoxy stuff? I think so. I think by the time all the construction glue and everything sets up in here with this little plate kind of holding it all together, I'm happy with that now. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the small window around the corner here, and that'll be part of its video too. So if you watch just that video, you'll see it there. If you watch it, you'll see it here, but I'm not going to show this part anymore because I'll just be doing it. Here it is, you've seen it. Okay, so not perfect. We made progress. Thanks for watching.